Hi guys, so as always we are gonna cover the trades of last week. As you know, I cover all my actually taken positions, so let's jump right in. We start with an AUDUSD short that I took, and we're gonna jump right into the high time frame first. So we have this on the daily. You can see this exact equals here at the bottom, so maybe you see it a little better here in the 4 hour. Okay, exact equals liquidity pool. Then we have this level here that retraced and failed to break the high here. Okay, so we are coming from this high, we make the liquidity pool here, then we come up and we fail to break this high. Once we tap this 4 hour order block, the market shoots down and we mitigate this demand. But this demand I thought is weak because it has a liquidity pool resting at the bottom. So this only sparked a retracement for me, in my opinion. And on the 1 hour chart, ultimately, we swept this here as inducement, okay? Tapping into this 4 hour fair value gap here and order block for the first time. We touched this order block here. And it's also previous day's high sweep. And then late New York gave a beautiful day trading setup that I actually missed. So I was trying to get into this retracement here, but it didn't retrace. So I turned it basically into a swing idea on the 1 hour chart. Sorry for the chart bouncing around. I don't know why that is. So once we make this close below the previous structure here, break of structure, close below, huge fair value gap on the 1 hour, I thought to myself, this is a really good 1 hour setup. So once price came back into this fair value gap, I market executed, and this was going very well at first. I was probably gonna take profits early here, down here. And you see that we have a beautiful lower low, but this demand here, swept liquidity, led to a higher high. This demand ultimately won the battle here, sending price higher. I actually decided to do a scale in here. So if this would have profited, I would have banked, I don't know, for example, I risked 2% here on this first position, and when I did the scale-in, I adjusted my stop loss on the first position to here. So from 2000 open risk, I reduced it to like 1600 risk. And that's why I utilized this, that was actually 1200. Yeah, from 2000 I reduced my risk to 1200, so that gave me $800 to risk on the scale-in. So if that would have banked TP, I would have profited some percentage more. And I think that was a very plausible and good scale-in. We had equals here as well, but the market had other plans. I think Trump released something. Trump released some sort of news again that completely destroyed the US dollar, and then we just had a fundamental change and the market just completely turns around. That's the catch, guys, with short-term swing trades. If you have the bad luck that Trump says something that completely fundamentally shifts the market, then obviously that can either fast forward you to TP or get you spanked completely, and in my case it completely spanked me. Let's go over to NASDAQ, where I took a day trade last week that kinda turned into a swing trade. So we see this, the NASDAQ sweeps here the previous day's low. As you can see here, this gets swept here. And on the higher time frame, you see this is a nice 4 hour sweep as well here. 4 hour sweep. We close this imbalance, and we have a beautiful change of order flow up here. So first leg, second leg, fair value gaps on both, closing above. So when this was retracing, I was like, oh my god, let's just get in and send this to these equals, because that was another reason for the trade. Look at this nasty equals here. Liquidity pool would have made perfect sense if this huge bearish impulse was a trap for the bulls to regain control. But ultimately this just ended up chopping around, and I actually re-entered. It didn't gap the market, so I re-entered the position to kinda turn it into a swing trade. And this is actually something that I wanted to avoid, so I have to slap myself on the wrist here. Yeah, and ultimately, I mean, we still had the bottom supply here, and demand. So when we swept this inducement here to tap into the bottom supply, I was perfectly fine for still being in drawdown. We had the shift again after the demand tap, but then ultimately we couldn't even sweep the sell side inducement here, and then it just failed and melted. And not sure if this was also Trump related. No, I'm not sure if that was at the same time that AUDUSD no, it actually was. Okay, I think this was also related to what Trump said, because I lost the trades, both the AUD swing and this one, in the same day. I think that was actually correlated. So I got spanked on it twice, but it's my responsibility. If I expose myself to dollar strength on 2 setups and something fundamentally shifts, obviously I double my risk. So yeah, took the double loss here basically. And what happened after is I took a day trade after, because why is TradingView jumping around like crazy when I switch time frames? That's crazy, man. Okay, so here we see this 4-hour level getting swept. Okay, so a nice liquidity sweep. Then normally NASDAQ looks for counterparty liquidity. Let's see how that looked on the lower time frames. You see that we close above this bullish, above this last bearish structure here with an M15 close. And let's see how that looks on the M5. You see, that's a beautiful leg, and I actually market executed right when the M15 closed. So when the M15 closed, I just market executed here, and you see this was a 0 drawdown trade basically. And here it was getting late, and it just didn't look to me. We were building this trend line. So for me, it looked like it's probably gonna sweep the trend line and maybe close the market here or whatever. I was just not optimistic that it's gonna hit TP within late Friday, because late Friday is just low momentum. So I closed it here for a partial winner. It was like 1.1R, and I'm happy with that. Ultimately, the market gapped. My God, is that annoying? I'm sorry about that. Ultimately, the market opened with a huge gap, so I could have held that actually to the equals that will probably get taken out very soon. So tomorrow we can see nice shorts after this gets swept. But yeah, there is obviously, you can't hold NAS, especially not over the weekend. Like, you're suicidal if you do that. So yeah, I'm perfectly fine with the partial win, made up the swing loss, and that's fine for me. That's it, guys. I'm gonna make these videos a little bit differently from now on. I'm gonna actually, when a trade finishes, I'm gonna record it to journal it more timely basically, and I just cut that together to make these videos more like I'm still more in the trade, and I think I can explain the trade way better if I record these little snippet videos right after the trade ends, you know, because now this was all happening last week. I have to recall what I was even doing, and I think they're just gonna be a little better from the future when I have everything still in my mind present. And yeah, so yeah, guys, thank you for your attention. I catch you in the next one. If you have any questions, obviously you can ask me, and thank you for watching. Take care, guys.